Hello everyone, welcome to Computer 8. Today we continue our study about the OSI model. In our previous class, we discussed the function of physical layer and data link layer. Today we will discuss the rest of the 5 layers. Now start with the function of network layer. The network layer is responsible for source to destination delivery of packets. When we use a multiple network. Now suppose there is a network with 3 nodes and there is a unique identification number, suppose 000110. This is another network with 4 nodes and there is also a unique identification number. Now if a node wants to send data to this link, that means the both nodes are in the same network. So we need a physical address. This is called the physical addresses. If we want to send the data in same network, we need the physical address maintained by data link layer. But in the network layer, if we want to send data from one network to another, suppose there is a unique identification number to identify the net. So this is net 0 and this is net 1. Now we want to send data from A to, suppose this is C. They are in the different network, so use the network ID or net ID. This is called the logical address, and logical addresses are provided by internet service provider, and this logical address is maintained by the network layer. So first function of network layer is logical addressing. Here, when we send one node to another which is on different network, there is a link. This is called network of networks or internetwork. Which we use in our mobile called internet. This is the capital I, internet, and this internetwork, that means network of network, its spelling is small I. Okay. Now when we have an independent network connection, and which is called network of network or internetwork, we transmit the data between two different networks. We have to find a route, maybe A to C. A is source and C is destination. So it may be A, B and C, or A, E and C. So when we transmit between two different networks, we have a route to send the package to the final destination. This mechanism is called routing. And this is provided by network layer. So these are the function of network layer. Our next layer is the transport layer. In network layer, we emphasize on delivery of individual packets. Whether in transport layer, we ensure the whole message arrived intact and in order. Thus transport layer is called end-to-end delivery. End-to-end delivery of the entire message. Now the first function is segmentation and reassemble. So in segmentation and reassemble, in sender end the message divided into segments, each segment containing a sequence, and in the receiver end all the segments reassemble correctly. Now the connection control, the next function is connection control. Connection control is either connectionless or connection oriented. Suppose we want to send a data from one node to another in connection oriented format, so we have to establish a path. So at first establish a path, and all the data sent through the same path. So all the data sent or transmitted through same path, and then the connection is terminated. So then connection terminated. And in connectionless, each segment is treated as individual packet and does not follow the same path. Next function is flow control. Transport layer is responsible for flow control for not a single link but to access one network to another. And there is another function called error control. In transport layer makes sure that the entire message arrived at the receiver end without any error, that means without damage, loss or duplication. Error control arrived through identification and transmission, that means at first identify where is the error and retransmit the information again. So flow control and error control is achieved with respect to message. Now the next layer is session layer. The function of session layer is dialog control. Session layer is network dialog controller. It allowed to communicate between two processes either in half duplex or full duplex. The next function is synchronization. Suppose a system wants to send a file of 200 pages, and when it sends 100 pages, the receiver send an acknowledgement that I get the first 100 pages. In this way, suppose it gets 700 pages and get after 700 pages, suppose there is a fault occurred in 750 pages. So this clash happened in 750 number pages, so we don't have to resend the whole message but 701 to 755 or rest of the data, because this acknowledge is received as previous acknowledgements. The receiver sent acknowledge that it get the 700 till 700 page is correctly so we don't have to resend the whole message. Now, the function of presentation layer. This is a function of presentation layer. First function is translation. Translation means, suppose different computer use different encoding mechanism. Physical layer's responsibility is to translate between different encoding mechanism. Suppose a machine that use an encoding system means it use binary system, and a machine M2 that use BCD mechanism. So there may be a encoding mechanism. So we write, so this is binary 32, but in BCD this is 0 and this is 2. This is in BCD. So in this way translation happen. Next function is encryption. Encryption, to provide the security, actual message is encrypted in sender end and decrypted in the receiver end. Suppose a message is ABC. There is many encryption algorithm. Suppose we use next letter means third next letter, so is replaced by H, I and J, and the receiver end, when it get H, I, J, previous third letter of the previous, so it is ABC in this way. And then the next is compression. Compression means data compression reduce the number of bits to be transmitted. That means for faster communication, the data may be compressed. Is data may be a text, audio or video. Now we use the function of application layer. This is the application layer, means user portion. When we send a mail or a file, so the first is file transfer, access and management. This is the function of application layer. So application allow the user to access, retrieve and control a file in the remote computer. Also it helps to send a mail or store it. So this is called mail services. And for last, directory services. In application layer provide distributed database sources to access global information. So here now we discussed all the 7 layers of OSI model. If you have any query, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you everyone.